Welcome to Amazing Unexplained Phenomena. Following two events are believed to have been time slips. A woman in New Hampshire lived in a house built in 1975. It wasn't an old house, but she believed that the land might have had an older house on it previously. When she was interviewed, she said, "My 5 acres had stone walls out front and all throughout the property." Then she added, "Everything was normal when I fell asleep. Then I would wake up and the wallpaper would turn to a brown print. An old oil lamp was in the front of the window, and the rest of the room was full of really old antiques," she said. Then she added, "I would try blinking and closing my eyes in an attempt to make my actual room come back, and eventually it would. This happened maybe 3 or 4 times. I know I wasn't dreaming, and the house was definitely haunted, because so many crazy things happened." She spoke about how her kids were young and would be scared at times. In an effort to understand what was happening, she added, "The big room only contained furniture I used before I moved there. No old furniture." By that she must have meant that there was no old furniture that might have been associated with a haunting. Let's imagine what might have happened if this time slip were taken a step further. What if she had gotten up and left her room? Would the rest of the house be old, maybe Victorian too? And what if she went outside? Would the paved road be a dirt road, or even cobblestones? Is it possible for a person to have a time slip and decide to remain in the past? And would she be able to if she wanted to? It also raises the question, could a person be stuck in the past if they walk far enough away from their point of entering the past? People are often so scared by their time slip, or at least so bewildered, that they can't wait to get back to the present. It would be interesting to find out if the woman was ever in contact with subsequent owners of the house to see if they experienced the same thing that she did. Is it possible that the haunting spirits missed their old house so much that they temporarily were able to change the 20th century room into a 19th century room? Maybe they wanted her to see what they wanted the house to look like and hoped that by showing it to her, she might redecorate it like a 19th century room. Since the narrator knows this woman and has complete confidence that she fully believes what she says, we give this time slip account a 9 on our rating scale of 1 to 10. 1 is for a probable hoax or explainable phenomena. 10 is for genuinely unexplained events. We only rate an incident a 10 when there are multiple witnesses and the event was witnessed by people who have never met each other, or over a large area like a UFO trail that covers many counties. A 9 is about the highest that we could ever rate a phenomenon, and it indicates our opinion that this incident is genuine. Is it possible that there is no time tunnel at all, or anything connecting the two times, and that maybe the two times exist simultaneously and just sort of touch each other from time to time, allowing a short visit to the past? This would imply that every moment that ever happened still exists and has the potential to be visited. We've never heard of such a thing, but wonder if anybody ever experienced a time slip where they were visited by someone from the future who accidentally found themselves in our time. Might numerous timelines exist, all moving forward through time but separate from each other? Maybe from time to time, 2 of the timelines randomly come together and the 2 different timelines simultaneously occupy the same place. This would allow someone to see what they describe as the past. Another time slip experienced by a woman known to the narrator, and consequently highly believable, happened in Florida while she was driving home from work. She passed by a neighborhood, and one house near the road caught her attention. She thought, "Wasn't that house completely built when I came by here yesterday? Now it's just being built, just a frame." She said, "I could even see workers working on the house. It was an active construction scene." So she made a point to pay careful attention when coming by this neighborhood the following day. She would look to confirm that the house was still being built. As she approached, she thought, "Maybe I just saw a different house and thought it was the same one." But she arrived at the neighborhood, and as she told what she had experienced, she said, "I expected to see the house in the process of being built like the day before." But what she saw puzzled her. The house was once again completely built. Later she told a relative about this incident, and the relative had heard of time slips. He explained what time slips were to her, and as he did, he could see her face becoming pale. The thought of driving through some kind of rift in time and seeing months into the past will be a shock to anyone. On our scale of 1 to 10 for unexplained phenomena, with 1 being a probable hoax or not really unexplained, and 10 being a probable, genuine, unexplained phenomenon, we give this incident a 9 because of the woman's believability. But we're not giving a 10 because conceivably there may be some rational explanation other than a time slip. If someone can actually go from the present to the past and then back to the present, what would they be traveling through to go between these two times? Time slips appear to be fleeting, so what would occur that would cause the present and the past to become connected for a short time? There doesn't appear to be any way to experiment with time slips, no way for scientists to carry out a controlled experiment because this phenomena isn't repeatable. Maybe 2 timelines have exactly the same events, the 2 timelines being exactly the same, except on one timeline it might be, say, 1959. You might, in the present, the 21st century, check into a motel, get settled in, have a good night's sleep, then you come out in the morning for a breath of fresh air, and the parking lot is filled with 1959 type vehicles. Maybe over at the pool, someone has a transistor radio and they're blasting Elvis or Buddy Holly. Maybe someone out in the parking lot is talking to someone and you overhear them mentioning the name Eisenhower. You go back into the room and tell your wife, hey, you got to come out and see this. But when you go out there, it's the 21st century again. This is how fleeting time slips seem to be. Many of them, if you're experiencing one and you turn around and talk to someone, you'll turn back around and it'll be the present time again. The fact that so many time slips are reported indicates that for the ones that are genuine, that some form of time travel is possible. Maybe sometime in the future, time travel has been perfected and we are being visited by history class field trips from the future. But I'll bet they would skip 2019, 2020, 2021, and 2022, and however many more years the pandemic lasts. What do you think? Did the woman in New Hampshire awake and find herself in the past? Did the woman in Florida see into the past to see a house that is fully built suddenly appearing as it did months before when it was just a frame? Do you think the time slips are real or just a trick of the mind? Might time slips have a similar cause to the much covered Mandela Effect? Might they both be caused by timelines coming together? Maybe the Mandela Effect results from 2 timelines interacting, as may be happening in a time slip. But with the Mandela Effect, when the 2 timelines separate again, they end up put back together wrong. You would now be part of a different timeline and might distinctly remember something and have a strong memory of something happening and you're 100% sure that something happened in the past, but now you find out that it never happened and you can't figure out what's going on. That's the Mandela Effect. Feel free to leave a comment below. Have you had your own time slip that you'd like to report or to have featured on an upcoming episode of Amazing Unexplained Phenomena? If you would like to receive announcements of upcoming episodes, please click on the subscription button. There may never be an actual time machine. Maybe that's impossible. No time-traveling, flux capacitor-powered DeLorean where you can set in a specific time to visit in the past. But it seems that time slips will continue to be reported and wondered about. Thank you for watching.